Greetings, travelers! I'm Josh.
And I'm Kai.
And we're the Genshin
Genshin
Guys.
Greetings, travelers. I'm Christian Banas, the English voice of Thoma, and you're listening to the Genshin Guys podcast.
Welcome all. This podcast is for fans of Genshin Impact, the mobile game made by Hoyoverse, also known as MiHoYo. Here we talk about our opinions, experiences, and dreams about Genshin Impact. If you like our show, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast. And today we are here with our special guest, Christian Banas. Hello, welcome, how are you?
Yo, what up? Thanks for having me. I'm good. It's really hot, but I'm good.
Oh, yes, man, the ever-growing heat everywhere, like seriously.
Could you expand on the weather just for a little bit, just for our audience?
Dude, it's like 104 degrees outside right now, and it's a nightmare.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great because the weather is a thing on our podcast too.
Oh, is it really? I had no idea.
It's our community
like this
meme.
thing. It's like this thing where like I go, "Hey Kahi, how are you doing?" And he goes, "Well, the weather's hot." Like,
That's the first thing I talk about.
it's Hawaii though, right? You know.
It's Hawaii. I mean, I have to talk about it.
I
as an
unintentionally
opener.
joined the meta. That is so weird for you.
Exactly. You are consider yourself a meta player. Here we go.
Let's go.
So today, everyone, we'll be doing an interview with Christian. And is Christian okay? Chris, like, what do you go by?
Christian's fine.
Christian. All right. So with Christian today, we're going to be doing an interview similar to how we've done it in the past. We're going to do 3 segments, past, present, and future, with questions pertaining to those times. And we will, in between each segment, do a little mini game where we have Christian help us out with some really fun, like, Genshin related stuff. So okay, so let's get our interview started off with the past segment. So as a voice actor myself, I am also, I've only recently come into this realization that I really, really want to be doing this. Like, I've wanted to do it for a very long time, and I really, really enjoy it. I've been taking classes. It's been great. Now, for you, Christian, what was the moment that you knew you wanted to be a voice actor?
Okay. That's really interesting. Because I was a music teacher before all this, and I had to find a job. And I don't remember how, like, I became close friends with these people, but I do remember meeting them on the set of this show called Video Game High School.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't interested in acting. They were just looking for people who looked young, and I ended up getting it.
Wait, were you in Video Game High School?
Yeah, I was in season 2.
What? Wait, oh my god, I love that show. That's the one by what are their names? The
Rocket Jump?
Yes, Rocket Jump. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in acting, and I ended up being like a prominent extra in it. It was really crazy. But I ended up meeting friends who would have me do YouTube skits, and they were like, "Dude, you'd be really good at like voiceover. You sound like you do like the anime thing." I'm like, I mean, I'm not trying to do the anime thing, but sure, why not? So I like researched it. I listened to Kristen Freeman's Voice Acting Mastery podcast, and
Kristen Freeman, he's one of my favorites.
Dude, yeah, he was actually my first ever class on February 26, 2017, and
Wow.
the reason why I remember that date is because when I went to
2017.
that class, I was awful, but I wanted to do voiceover ever since then.
Wow. That's
Because-
amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, like, we did an improv thing where we were like in an elevator. I've never done improv. I was awful. And then I actually got to dub things. I dubbed something from Robotech, and then I dubbed something from Scrapped Princess, and that was really fun. But I really wanted to do it ever since then. And then Crispin recommended Tony Oliver, and that's how I took classes. So that's how I started. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, like it's nothing better than figuring out that that's what you want to do, right? It's so cool.
Yeah.
So do you Kahi, go ahead.
So, I mean, that was going to lead me into my next question. Who were your voice acting inspirations?
My voice acting inspirations. Okay. Number 1 is Yuri Lowenthal. He's arguably the GOAT of our voice type, and I say this because Josh, me and you, we have the same voice type, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like the GOAT. He's just so good. Also Erica Mendez. There's a dub that I really watched that really also like made me love voiceover even more, and it was the Your Line April English dub. I love that's one of the best English dubs I've ever heard.
I had to watch that first because the art.
Dude, it's so good. Erica Lindbeck is so good. as Kaori. She is fantastic, and Max Middleman's in that too. For the Genshin fans, that's Ito.
Oh yes, Max Middleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Erica Mendez, she plays one of the main characters in there. She's so good. Oh my god. So she was definitely an inspiration. Also because of her role in Little Witch Academia, she plays the main character Akko. I love her.
I
nice.
love that show.
Erica Mendez is Ayaka, right?
Yes, she's Ayaka.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, like it's so funny that you said that we have the same voice type. Actually, like in my server, in my podcast community, like we all have like assigned Genshin characters, and like my character is Thoma. So like he's really, and I think that's because people say like, oh, you remind me of Thoma. I took one of those like personality quizzes, got Thoma. So like, you know, apparently I've been told we have similar vibes. So like
That's good.
Yeah, so that's fun to hear you say that like out loud. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, do you have any like fun, so this is about the past still, so do you have any fun stories about recording for Genshin that like stick out to you that you can share with us, like funny moments or bloopers or anything like that?
I have a lot.
Great. Oh my god, yes, please just share them, just share whatever you want.
And feel free to like jump in and ask more questions or to elaborate, but because Genshin was my first ever big role. Well, I can't really say big role because I booked Dying Light 2 before this. But this was definitely like my first role that I recorded so long for, right? And I didn't know what I was going in for. So let me paint the picture for y'all, right? So we get these auditions, different code names, like I don't even recognize the names, whatever. And when I booked the character, they said you booked this character named Thoma. I thought it was a misspell because it was Thoma without the S. I'm like, did they mean like Thomas? Who is this? So I go in. And the first scene that we do is the coin flipping scene, when he's at the dock.
Right, when you first meet him.
Yeah, and I actually didn't do the efforts first.
Oh.
Because Chris told me not to do the efforts first, just to do the spoken line first. And Chris Fowler is the English director.
Right.
So, of course, me being me, my voice cracks on Ahoy there. The first words I do for like this big role.
Oh no.
Oh my god, nervousness caught up.
It wasn't even nervousness, it's just, my voice just cracks naturally. I know how to control it now, but when I'm speaking like very candidly, it just cracked. I don't know, it just does. And it became so characteristic of the character that Chris is just like, who cares, just go ahead, just if your voice cracks, it cracks, whatever.
Yeah, you can keep
cool,
it.
Thanks, dude. But that was definitely the first one. Over time, one of the things that no one knows, this will be the first time people hear this, so I got you guys, I'm giving you exclusive content.
The exclusive.
So I was recording, it was the scene when Thoma was pretending to be Taromaru, right?
Oh my god, I love that scene.
Oh, in the tea
So when
house.
I was recording that scene, we don't really have much context. We actually record on off of an Excel sheet. That's all the script is. We don't really get much. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh, Thoma's just playing a joke, obviously. That's what it looks like to me. So I record the first line, and Chris goes, are you a dog? And I'm like, am I a dog? So then we both are like, is Thoma a dog? Does he transform? And then Chris goes off on this tangent. We're like, that'd be so cool if like, when he's playable, he like transforms into a dog and like does this thing. And then
that does sound cool,
as we're
though.
talking, I'm trying to tell Chris, I'm like, dude, I think he's just playing a trick, like after a certain point. And he's like, no, but just in case, let's record it like you are actually a dog. I'm like, okay, sure. So if the fans were confused about Thoma being a dog, so were we. We spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out if he was a dog or not.
That is so good. Like that was like, oh my, okay, that's amazing because like, I mean, but that's what you want to do, right? Like if he's playing a trick and being a dog, you might as well just like be your best Thoma dog, right? Like, oh my god, that's so funny.
And the craziest part is that we didn't finish the scene. So I didn't know it was truly a joke until I came back the next day.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, what if I am a dog?
Yeah. I mean,
minute.
okay, well, now we like know there are characters that like turn into cats and stuff. So I know you're not maybe super familiar with the game past Sumeru, but we did get a character named Kirara who literally turns into a cat for her abilities.
Dude,
Like a
I'm
cat
not
in the
familiar
box.
with her, but I heard her voice actress, And dude, I love how she reads. It's very similar to how I read. So whoever you are, shout out to you. I like your Kirara. It's really good.
Julia Gu is her
Julia
English
Gu.
voice actor. Seems
Cool.
like. So yes,
Shout out
that's
to Julia Gu.
shout out to Julia Gu. So yeah, Kirara turning into a cat. I think it's not that far fetched. Obviously, early in the game, we were like, whoa, like a character that can turn into a dog. Like I bet you were thinking that. How familiar were you with Genshin when you started recording for this?
Oh boy. Okay, so when I first recorded my ever session for Genshin, which was NPCs on my birthday, which is September 27th, that was really cool.
Were you with
Apparently,
Brooke?
that's like I wasn't with Brooke, so Brooke wasn't the director at the time. I was still with Chris.
Oh, okay.
So this was before, like, this is day one when Genshin came out, right?
Okay.
I had my session, and it was a lot of fun. Chris brought me in for NPCs for the it was the 1.1 quest. What was that? The Unreconciled Stars.
Unreconciled
There
Stars.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he brought me in. Apparently, he listened to my demo. I was about to leave the industry at the time. That's another long story I could talk about later.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, so he brought me in. I came in really rusty and all that stuff. I was awful. I still to this day think that was one of my worst sessions of all time.
Oh no.
Because I go in and Chris goes, okay, so there's his character. He's like 30-ish, maybe 40. He's like a military guard. So go ahead, just use, like, just do what you can and go ahead. And I read the first line. He goes, okay, cool. So, you used your high voice for that. Could you go lower? And I was like, Chris, that was my lowest voice.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. So Chris had to scramble, find some characters, and he found this character named Ben, who ended up becoming a huge meme, known as Man Dresses Worker later on. We didn't know he was going to be called Man Dresses Worker.
But
funny. That's when I actually was solid. I was very good with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris was describing the game to me. He goes, yeah, it's this cool game. It's like anime, but it's like, open world, and it looks really cool. And like, I played the beta, and it was so awesome. And I'm like, oh, no way? That sounds cool. Like, I'm gonna try to download it. He goes, yeah, today it comes out, man. You should totally have fun with it, Christian. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go home, download the first day. It takes like forever because it's only like 2 megabytes or megabytes a second.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they throttled everyone. You had to do some
Oh my
weird stuff just to
God.
get past like an extra 100 kilobytes. You had to lower all your security. I do not recommend doing that. But yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, it was insane. And like I'm like sleeping there. I'm like a kid. I'm like waking up. I look at the progress bar. I see. I gained 3% in 2 hours. Cool. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So like finally when it's downloaded, I go in and I fell in love. To give you context for games I love MapleStory.
Oh.
And I missed the feeling MapleStory gave me when I was a kid, when it was like a brand new world. I would like call my best friend John at the time on our house phones.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like just be talking to him on the phones because this is before like kids were able to use TeamSpeak and all that stuff.
Right.
I'm dating myself here. I'm old.
Ventrilo.
But
Ventrilo, dude.
Ventrilo.
I used to use that for Counter-Strike 1.6. I haven't heard that in so long.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
That was
dude,
from
that's
WoW.
cool.
That was from WoW rating.
Oh my god, I never did WoW. I did Adventure Quest.
Oh, I did AQ also.
I spent $20 to get the hero stuff. It was really cool.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so I played since day one. Man, it was so fun. I loved it.
You streamed,
Genshin
right?
is- I started streaming. When did I start streaming? I forget when I started streaming, but I did stream. I reached AR 57 before patch 2.2.
Oh, whoa, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Little serious Christian there. I see how it is.
Addicted.
We don't say that. We say like things like in love or like really enjoyed, enthusiastic. So speaking of Thoma specifically, like, do you have a favorite like Thoma voice line? Like any
Oh
like
my
maybe a story
God.
related to it? Maybe you just really like you're something about the delivery, like anything?
There's a lot. But if there's any Thoma voice lines that come to mind that I really love, it was the whole Statue of the Omnipresent God scene.
Mm.
This is the first time that I was able to like bring the walls down from Thoma. So you said you're in voiceover, so
Yeah.
You know how with voiceover sometimes you hear people that are very superficial, and their
Oh, yeah.
characters are very superficial as well. Well, with Thoma, he started more as like this kind of cool guy. I mean, so you finally made it, like that kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, a guide to the traveler, so he's very well kept. It's when he gets to the statue of the omnipresent God, where he's just like, and in these statues, like that kind of like groundedness, it's like, whoa, okay. And I
Like
didn't
there's
know
some
what
stuff going on in Inazuma, like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know what was going on. I mean, first and foremost, I didn't know I was important until I saw the line count on the Excel sheet, where we were like, how many pages? And I was like, Chris, am I important?
Because you had been doing like NPCs up until that point, right?
Yeah, I've been doing NPCs. I thought I was just gonna record my fight stuff, maybe like a random story quest or two, and then I'm out.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think I was gonna record 12 hours for my first like patch of Genshin. I was like, damn, I've
I
recorded
mean,
more than
playable
some
stuff.
playables.
Playable characters are like that. They always want to
Yeah.
have at least a bit of extra focus or make a bit of extra limelight, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
use the other
definitely
characters.
Thoma. I mean, like you said, Thoma was the guide. Like Thoma introduced us to everybody. Thoma was integral in us getting involved in the story plot at that point. And like then he introduced us to Ayaka and Ayato and then you got a hangout, right? Like
Yeah. Like, oh my god, I've recorded so many hours, which was a lot of fun, and I'm super blessed. People think I've recorded all my Thoma stuff, like, before the game even came out. That's
Mhm.
totally incorrect. I recorded, okay, so 2.0 came out, whenever 2.0 came out, I recorded for 2.0 about 2 months before then.
Oh wow, so not that like so around 1.7 ish.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I think I finished recording all the lines definitely before the archipelago.
Right.
remember
Oh,
that?
before the Golden Apple Archipelago, the summer
Yeah.
event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, the first
okay.
one or
So
the
yeah.
second
So
one? First one.
the first
right?
one. The
What was
first
that
one. The
called?
first
Yeah.
one.
The
Oh, the
first
first
golden
one.
apple. Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a second one later, right? So, but then Inazuma came out after that, and then yeah, Thoma just became like super huge, and then, so yeah, okay, we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about how like Thoma is kind of meta now.
I
And
heard he was meta.
Yeah, like he interacts with the Dendro characters really nicely now. And like back then we didn't have them, and a lot of people were struggling to figure out what exactly Thoma could be used for that he was like the best at. And we do have a place now, and so like I've also been using him a lot. I've been working on him. But really cool character, and it's one of those characters that like you don't understand like MiHoYo has a plan for them like in the meta, like oh, like at first they're like okay, I see it, and then they come out with some new mechanic or something and you're like oh, that's what this character is for. Like it's so interesting. But anyway, yes, so yeah, thanks for that. Do you have any other things you want to tell us about Genshin, before your experience with Genshin, or like recording or voice acting or anything like that? Oh, you said you were considering leaving the industry.
Yeah, actually I was. So, first and foremost, before I get to that, if people want to hear my favorite Thoma voice lines, by the way, go ahead and go to the Statue of the Omnipresent God scene. Listen to that Thoma. That is my favorite Thoma.
There
Like,
you
you'll
go.
see how grounded he is. And then later Thoma's just like, haha, yeah, that's great. But in general, like, you know, the rest of, like, the Thoma I want is that one from the Omnipresent God.
Mm.
The
In terms
serious
of me
moments.
wanting to leave the industry, so I've said this many times publicly, but actually I started voiceover in 2017, and I like took classes for like a year, and my first ever role that I ever booked was this game called Dying Light 2, which was amazing. First role of the book. That's
Wait, didn't it like just come out sort of recently, like a year ago or something?
Yep.
Because I played Dying Light 1, and I was like really excited for Dying Light 2. And for those of you that don't know, it's like this like first-person parkour zombie shooter game. But that's the one we're talking about, right? I'm just making sure.
Yes.
Okay.
That exact same
And
one.
then Dying Light 2 was like kind of in development, you know, limbo for a little bit or something. I don't know personally what happened. I just know it took a really long time to come out, and it's though it's pretty. I hear it's pretty good now. I haven't tried it yet myself, but so that you
Yeah.
recorded for that long time ago then.
Yeah, I actually recorded the character named Steve for like an E3 trailer,
Oh.
and that was really cool. And like I got to experience a lot of stuff from there. I booked like random Pokemon characters. I booked a character in the show called Rainbow High. I was like, you know, slowly getting stuff, but ultimately I felt like I haven't really grown as a person. And
Oh.
I was offered a job at a game developer studio. I was going to be a producer. I was going to make pretty good money, but I was going to have to move out of California, which, ultimately I would just leave voiceover at that point. Just
Right.
focus on being a producer. I got to try voiceover. It was fun, whatever. And right when I was about to sign my contract, I was going to sign it on my birthday. Genshin came up with the offer for NPCs. I recorded the NPCs because I was like, hey, you know what? If I suck, at least I'm getting paid to suck, right? That's great. So I ended up recording that, and I ended up falling in love with voiceover again. So I turned down the contract, and, well, that's where my path went.
Dang.
And I was very close to quitting. I was like, literally,
That is
if Genshin
very
reached out to me
close.
one day later, I would have said no. And right, Kahi? It was so close.
Happy birthday to you, right?
It's like pen is about to hit the paper, and then the decision happened. Wow, that is close.
Yeah, because, ultimately, like, I also felt like being in voiceover delayed my growth as a person. So, like, I've taken a step back and I've really focused on myself. So that was nice. But those are some things about my past people don't really know about. If,
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, thank you for sharing. I mean, and being like, just transparent with us about your journey as a voice actor. Like, I am personally one of the people, and I know there are many others, that like games like Genshin inspire people to be voice actors. So it's really nice to like hear your real story about what happened and how you got here.
I appreciate that. And it's actually crazy to me that people really want to be voice actors because they've heard people like me in the game.
Mhm.
Like, I always tell people this, like, hey, I'm just someone that was a music teacher, stopped doing that, I got into voiceover. I'm literally a grown adult inside a booth. So inside an isolated booth where it's hot and I'm sweating and I'm speaking to a metal tube.
Yep.
So, like,
And you're crying and you're laughing and you're
yeah, and the fact that I can inspire anyone, that's crazy. So I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you for everything you do. I mean, as Thoma, but also like as someone, me personally, who plays a lot of games across different spectrums, different genres. Like, that you lend your voice to those games too. Like I said, I loved Dying Light. Now I'm interested in checking out Dying Light 2 just for Steve now, like just to see,
I will warn you, I'm in, they reduced my role during the rewrites, so I still drive a truck. So I drive the truck, and then there's a special, like, sub-quest dedicated to me.
Okay.
Where the protagonist raps. And I am commenting on the raps.
Oh
that is
my
all
God.
I will say on that.
All right. Yes. No spoilers.
already
No
sounds
spoilers.
fun.
No spoilers.
Okay. Okay. So great. So that pretty much concludes, I think, our past segment. So let's break it up a little bit with our mini game. So this mini game, Who Am I? So Christian will go into the Genshin Wiki, look at the character list, and pick a Genshin character. If you click on them, you can see their full splash art, so that you can like kind of get a better idea of like what they're wearing and stuff like that. Obviously, you can pick characters you also already know. That's fine too. But we want you to describe to us, to me and Kahi, the character that you are looking at as vaguely as possible. And Kahi and I will have to guess, and we'll just throw out guesses to see who the correct character is. And then the first one to do so gets a point. We'll try to go for 3 points. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me. Also, when you guys said, who am I? I'm reminded of that Jackie Chan video meme, like in that movie where he's on the tank, and he's just like, who am I? Have you guys seen that?
No.
Why does it sound so
I
familiar?
need to send you it. It's
It
so
my
sounds
funny.
goodness.
familiar, but like, okay. Yeah, please send us that later. I will definitely
Jackie
check
Chan
that
has
out.
so much work he's done. There's like you can't really narrow it down to one because it could literally be several of his movies.
Exactly. I don't even know what movie it is. All I know is he's standing on a tank, there's a helicopter, and there's epic 90s music with him on his knees going, who am I?
Oh my God, that just reminds me of like the Mega Man scene. Like, what am I fighting for? Do you know about that? What
No,
am
I
I
don't.
fighting for?
Oh, I need to see that. Oh my God. Okay, we'll change clips at the end. Remind me of that.
Okay.
But I think I already have a couple characters if you want to start.
Okay, great. So go ahead, go for it.
All right, I'm going to start with an easy one. You ready?
All right.
Full Metal Alchemist.
It's
Dia.
gonna be another one of those. I'm gonna say Dia
No.
too. No?
Nope.
No, really? Okay. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Albedo.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The actual alchemist. Yep.
He's
of course.
actually Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. I get it. Okay. Jeez, man. Kahi, nice. 1 point.
Yeah, good job. 1 point for you, man.
All right, who's
Okay.
next?
Let's see. I'm going to... let's switch it up to this one. Chores.
Noel.
Good.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Look at
Kahi,
you. You're already
please.
killing this, man. We need to do multiple rounds.
Look,
I'm actually
I
down
was
for
gonna
it.
say
I am doing
Thoma.
so much better than last week.
I was gonna say Thoma because chores.
I know. That's why I kind of threw him in there, or said chores, because I'm like, They're going to say Thoma or Noel?
Okay.
How about... let's go with this one. Jingles.
Oh. Oh my God.
If you need another one, I'm happy to give you another
Xiangling.
word. No.
Yao Yao?
Yes.
Oh my
3
God.
points. Do a clean sweep.
What?
Kahi.
What the heck? Oh my God,
This
Kahi.
is so different from last week.
Yeah, like
Oh my God. Sean had
That
like
was-
the most obscure like
Okay,
descriptions.
okay,
He was
let me-
referencing
let-
everything.
all right, Christian. Let me give you one that Sean gave us last week. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nexon mascot.
Next on Matt. Wait, I actually
sh-
might know this one.
Yeah, you might.
It's not Paimon. That's too easy. Next on mascot. Next on mascot. That's either Nahida or Diona. No, it's Dory. Is it Dory?
Okay, another hint. They
Yeah.
just decked out in the Maple Story cash shop.
Why does that scream Dory to me?
That's
I know
actually
I
what
know
I said,
exactly
too.
what he's saying. Cause like, man, I played a lot of Maple. I know exactly what he's saying.
That's what reminded me of it because you said that.
See, this is what I mean
Uh,
by references, because he always referenced things that I'm not too familiar with, but it's like so blaringly obvious to the people who know it, so I felt so out of the loop.
I honestly, I don't know. Mine is Dory, because Dory looks like she spent like $30 on Nexon Cash.
Yeah, the one I don't remember the verbatim what he was. I just remember those were some of the like sort of the hints. But his character that he was describing, because he doesn't know anybody, he doesn't know like any of the characters, so he just like goes off of what he sees. So it was Kazuha.
Oh, I see what he's saying because it has a maple leaf. Okay.
Yes.
That's valid, Sean. That's
Yes.
valid.
So see what I was saying? Like that was like us last week. We were like sitting here for like 5 minutes, like
We were struggling.
who is this? And then, dang it! I can't believe Kahi got all your.
I mean, I'm down to do
Three in
more,
a
and I'm
row,
down to
yeah.
make him even more vague this time.
Okay,
around if
okay,
you
let's
want
do
to.
it. Let's Kahi has 3 points. Sure.
Okay.
Let's go first to 5 and see if we can make it. If I can
First
make
to
it.
5. All right. It sounds like we're getting into the top 64 of the tournament.
Oh
Okay.
snap!
Best of 5. Or no, first to 5. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got one. Probably a pirate.
Beto?
I said probably.
Oh.
Kaya.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't. I was going to say that, but I just answered. I don't know how many times I can answer like right away because I didn't want to like just name every character.
I mean, I'm
Um,
down to switch off to like that. It feels like it's good.
Okay, sure. Okay, so geez, Kahi. All right, let's do another one. Be
I'm gonna
even more. Reference something outside of Genshin. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, I'm gonna pick stuff that I'm gonna pick characters I don't even know.
Okay. So.
Let's see. Let's pick this guy. Now, what's this guy doing? He looked like he's traveling. The hell? There, that's my hint. He looked like he's traveling.
He looks like he's traveling.
Yeah, man. He's
I
ready.
feel like
to
I
go.
already know this, but I want Josh to go first.
Dang it. Wait. Can you reference something outside of Genshin?
Outside of Genshin. Okay, let me see.
I swear I already know this, but I
Well,
want
Kahi
Josh
knows
to
it
go
already.
first.
All right,
Yes.
Kahi. What do you think it is?
Wanderer?
No.
Okay,
Something
I
else
thought it would.
outside of Genshin.
Mhm.
This dude looked like he from Fate. You know, like Fate, like
Yes.
Fate Stay Night.
Yes.
He looks like the male version of Saber, to me, at least.
Oh.
That should have been a big hint.
Yeah. I. Dang it! I have a feeling Kahi already knows, but I don't.
Like, I don't even know this character, but I also feel like he's kind of a smart butt character, just based off of how his like card looks.
Oh
Josh,
my
you go first, and then
goodness.
I'll give mine.
He looks like a male. What?
You can
Oh
take
my-
that at surface value. I mean, you think
Uh,
about basic characteristics.
Kave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, traveling because of the bag. You saw the bag, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, what's
Yeah.
that
Yep.
bag?
Yeah, dang it. I was thinking like, man, there's a character with a box or something that I'm just forgetting right now.
Hey, but you're on the board.
All right,
So
I'm
it's
on the
1-1,
board.
right?
I'm on the board. 1-4 me.
Can you catch up, I wonder?
Oh, here's one that would be a process of elimination. It'd be really funny. I just want to torture you guys. That's why.
Go
a
for it.
literal child.
Sayu?
No. Me and my friends
Clee?
always say a literal child. Yep.
All right, I'm
There
done.
you go.
All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
Honestly, like of all the characters, that is the child character.
That is the
That
child
is
character.
the one.
Yeah. Okay, so like, so Kahi, so when we do our podcast, usually Kahi, like I do the voice acting related stuff, so I take voice lines and I share it with Kahi, and then he has to guess the characters, and I do it across different languages. But Kahi gives me riddles, so he will do exactly what you're doing. This is why I think he's so good at it, because he just looks at characters and tries to find these like really obscure things about them, and then turns it into a riddle. And I'm so bad at guessing it, and clearly that transfers to this game as well. So,
you're like in real life Bennett. Actually, it's kind of funny.
I'm not that unlucky. Look, I don't remember the last time a rock hit my head, but it wasn't any time recently, okay?
Not yet.
I got my
far.
redemption for last week, so I'm good.
Oh
Oh my goodness. I'm
I'm
on
proud of
fire
you, Tommy.
today.
All right, well, thank you for that, Christian. So let's move on to our present segment of our interview.
Yes.
So, yeah, so how about... Okay, so you said that you're kind of like Thoma. Like your personality is very similar, but you play a lot of other characters. So, when you voice a character, how do you prevent yourself from straying into a different voice or the personality of like a different character, or yourself even?
So that's tricky. And it's really based on your interpretation of acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Voiceover's acting. Like, it's just the medium of your recorded that's different from on-camera acting. And the way that I approach acting is that there are millions of people out there that want to be actors, right? How do you stand out from those millions of people? You have to be yourself because there's only one you, right?
Right.
So that begs the question to what you asked. Well, how do you stay in character and not be you? This is where a conflict of philosophies happen, because for me personally, whenever I'm doing auditions, let's say, right? Like, for example, Luke Tuwa today, he's an isekai harem protagonist that I voice. Let's just say it blatantly. And he's also very deadpan. He was like a 50, 60-year-old famous assassin that gets reincarnated as a dude that is
I watched
like
a few
white-haired.
episodes of that. It's a very interesting show.
It's okay. I know exactly what you're saying with that subtext, and I agree with you, my friend. And then I voiced Thoma, right?
Right.
Two completely different ends of the spectrum. But ultimately, they're two parts of me. One part now, obviously, I'm not admitting I'm an isekai harem protagonist, but
I'm reading between the lines here, and I'm just kidding.
nah, but there's parts of me that I would use for certain characters, and ultimately, a character becomes a real life person for me. Have you ever heard the phrase "life imitates art"?
Yep.
Yep.
So that is the wrong way that a lot of people have been doing, when in reality, it's art imitates life. And the way that I do it is I like to focus on art imitates life, where I make sure that, hey, this isn't art that's happening. I need to base it off of something that's real. What is something that I know is real? Ultimately, the only thing I know that's real is me. Okay, let's ground it off of something that I am. And that is where the process of naturally developing characters comes from. A lot of people do the reverse. They see the character and try to craft the character based off of what they see from the art. And they just keep it artificial that way, and they try to make it sound natural. That's their approach. And if you're booking with that, keep with that approach. I book with my approach, which is I try to build it from the grounded, natural parts of me. So, let's just say, for example, pick a guy Genshin character, any Genshin character. I'm putting you two on the spot. Anyone.
D-Luke.
D-Luke, okay. So, with just totally removing D-Luke from my mind, could you give me a quick summary on D-Luke?
Tall, a little bit broody, bright red hair, but dressed in mostly dark clothing, doesn't smile, and doesn't really play well with others.
Does he have a traumatic background?
Yes.
Okay. So, immediately, I started changing my posture. I started thinking of all that stuff. I tried to give any reasons from me as a person that would help ground and shape that character. And then once I do that, I would take a look at a voice line. So let's just take a look at a voice line for D-Luke. And this is just my interpretation of how I would first start with the character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's the freaking voice lines? I'm looking at the Genshin Impact wiki.
Yeah, at the top there's like voiceovers.
There it is. Thank you. Cool. So there's one. You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time, right? Okay, so I'm thinking of everything that Kahi just told me. Is there any other details you want to add, Josh?
No, that's good. Unless you do that.
Okay, so my interpretation would be, you should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time. Just like that. Is that the D-Luke that's gonna get booked? No, but that's where I would start. And then what I would do is I would work on it to build it up. And that's how I start. Because I have to start with what comes off as natural for me, and then build it up to where it needs to go. Because I have a natural foundation base of where I am grounded as a person. It's that natural life that you want to build off of. And that's why when you say, how do you prevent yourself from falling into you as a person? Ultimately, I don't have that problem because I'm naturally building the blocks up from a good base. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic approach to, like you said, like everyone has their different approaches. I mean, I actually do something similar, but it is, it's like it does almost depend for me right now where I am in my like just voice acting skills. That I, sometimes if I feel like a character is so far removed from something I'm familiar with, then maybe I will try to craft that character. But then when there are scenes that present emotion, I'll tap into things that have happened in my life that make me feel that way to deliver the line authentically, despite maybe not feeling like that this character is me in that sense, but it's like this character has my emotions, carries my philosophy about this situation, depending on the context. So
absolutely. And that's a good way to approach it. There's no right or wrong answer because ultimately we don't know who's in charge of booking the thing. They could recognize those traits, they could not. What matters is just that you feel comfortable doing what you do and are able to perform at a level that you're comfortable with. So, good job. I mean, if you have that method, stick to it.
I like how you also said if you find like a method that books, then keep doing that method. Because ultimately, this is a profession. So you have to make sure that if you're using the right bait and you're catching the fish, you might as well use that same bait instead of just trying and experimenting.
Absolutely. And like, this gets into that whole philosophical battle of, are you successful as a voice actor if you don't book? That's a whole nother thing we could talk about later if you want to.
It's purely from like the marketing side or like the business side. But I mean, since we're on this topic, it leads me into my other question that I had lined up. It's based off of like this technique. When do you feel a certain voice, your own or maybe even like other voices, when do you feel a voice becomes perfect?
Ooh, I like that. That's a very good question. Okay, when do I feel a voice becomes perfect? I'm going to rephrase it in just a bit where it's, when do I feel like I've settled with the character? Does that sound good for you as well?
Yeah, that makes sense because like perfect to the artist is like, yeah, this is definitely what I want.
Yeah, so maybe I could marry the two and be like, when do I think the character's perfect? So when do I feel it that way? I feel when I am able to look at a line and understand everything I need to know about that line for that character. Now, obviously, some people would hear that and immediately think I'm overthinking it, when no. For example, let's say in show notes, I'm gonna type a phrase, right? Josh, you being you as a person, say that. Say this phrase.
Hey, dude.
Kahi, how would you say that?
Hey, dude.
So like it's kind of tough because you already heard Josh. So like, you know, it's just like that stuff. For me, I'd be like, if I'm just being Christian Banas about it, I'd be like, hey dude, what up? If I'm being Thoma about it, I'd be like, hey dude. Like that kind of stuff where it changes. It's very slight and it's very subtle. But I feel like the character is locked in when I can immediately look at something like that and understand everything I need to know. Hopefully that makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes sense because like
Is that good, Kai?
Yeah, I am satisfied with this answer. I like your methodology just because it's a little more analytical. It's more into like the art versus life versus art. So it's a good approach. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I've had these conversations with a bunch of directors before because, you know, there's a bunch of actors that just like to have the intent and let the intent drive the conversation, and that's perfectly fine. For me, when I live as a person, I'm always using my brain. Like when we have this conversation, we are thinking whether you know it or not. We're thinking about, oh, hey, you gave me an answer, and let me think about what you said. Okay, here's what I think about that, right? And that's how a natural conversation goes. We're not having a natural conversation by us reacting on spinal instinct, because if we did, everybody in the planet would be unhinged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for reals.
It's like when you watch a Marvel movie and you realize everybody has smart quips at each other, and it feels a little weird.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
everyone's a little too prepared, right?
Exactly. And you don't want that. So that's how I approach it.
Yeah, it starts to feel like campy or, you know, artificial in some capacity. Like this isn't a real conversation that I'm listening to, right? Like,
yeah.
As clever as some of us are and are able to do one-liners on command, I think that it's still very not realistic to expect a bunch of people to talk like that. But it's very funny to watch.
Bazinga.
And yeah, bazinga, exactly. And so, yeah, exactly. And then that's like where, okay, so let me reset here. So you've been doing Thoma for a while now. So how about like how has your life been and career been impacted? Get it, Genshin, impact, and since Genshin blew up in popularity.
My life has changed. It has changed. Incredibly so. If you don't mind me getting like extremely candid here. I mean, I'm very candid as a person, but if you
I mean, you've been candid this whole time. I believe so. You know,
appreciate the honesty.
Like we enjoy
that.
it. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Of course, and like if I could get like, you know, straight up, like it might be too much, just let me know. Yeah, it's changed my life for the better and for the worse and everything in between. I mean, in terms of like the better, I got to experience my dreams. You know, it sounds crazy just to say that, but think about it. I've experienced a success, well, quote unquote success and fame on an international scale. Now, how much of it, I don't know, but I mean, I went to the Philippines to a convention, and I'm Filipino, and I was invited.
Same.
Ayo,
there we go.
Ayo, Filipino, let's go.
Ayo.
But you know, I got to experience that. They paid for my flight. I got to see my family I haven't seen in like almost 2 decades.
Wow.
And dude, I had like the superstar treatment. I got mobbed a couple times.
Was it Conquest?
Yeah, it was Conquest.
Oh
Conquest
my
2022.
God. That's amazing.
That's the only con I've ever gone to. I don't really do public appearances. I don't.
Oh.
That's a whole like philosophy conversation where like I don't like attention to myself or the positive pedestal that it puts me on.
Interesting.
So, yeah, but yeah, you know, dude, my line was 4 hours consistently the entire time. I felt so bad. Like I worked without a break because not like the con organizers weren't telling me to not take a break. They were telling me to take a break.
Right.
But I just felt so bad for the fans. You know, I saw families there. It's like, man, like let me just get through this so that way I could constantly talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give them the time that they waited. Unfortunately, I couldn't. So, that it changed it for the better because, dude, I got to be interviewed by like the International News Network for the Philippines. You know, ABS-CBN.
Yeah, of course.
I was interviewed by them. You know, I got to do more voiceover. I got to receive recognition. Growing up, I was someone that I thought I wanted attention, but as I got older, I realized I didn't want attention. And Thoma came around a time where I didn't want attention, and I got the attention anyway, and it's very positive. But it also helps me grow up on a very exponentially fast scale, where there were so many things that I had to learn, and I was like, oh my god, like this is too much, and I'm learning it in a public view. I don't want this. I've seen the horror stories with Disney Channel stars, man. I don't want this.
It's like it's one of those things like,
Probably seen the
like
mugshots.
we've talked to other people before about certain things like this. Like I've talked to other voice actors before too, like how it's kind of, this decision that you've made to like not appear at conventions often and et cetera, et cetera. It's safe. Like it's like safer for like almost your career, like for maybe your mentality in a lot of ways. And it's a decision that you can make that has its possible effects, but like positive effects and possibly negative. But I think like when you mention like growing up, like it is something that you have to face in some way or another, and I think that it's really interesting because when you think about, like you said, people who think they want fame, right? I think that's a really big thing, because many people see famous people and they think, wow, if I was famous, I would love to be famous. And then you hear, like you said, the horror stories of being famous and what that does, your invasion of privacy, or the people vying for your attention, like who is real when they talk to you, you know what I mean? Like, so it's really interesting that you bring it up that way, and I really appreciate, again, that you are so candid with your feelings about this.
Of course, and like I'm always happy to like be candid about it, because I won't be candid with it if I haven't myself come to terms with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm that kind of person where I wear my heart on my sleeve. What I'm feeling is exactly what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to read anything more into that, you're digging too far.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, but yeah.
Yeah, because like, for example, when you
it's
said...
on the sleeve for a reason.
Yeah, when you said that, there was like, trauma stuff, like I'm actually going to be candid. Like I've mentioned this a couple times on like random people's streams, but this will be the first time like I'll mention it like in conversation. So how I was like streaming for a bit, right? I did all that stuff. And I would always like talk about how fans would randomly like come up to me in public spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them were very nice, but I've also had very not nice encounters. And it was like starting to weigh on not only myself, but my family. And I was like, oh shoot, like I gotta make a decision. Like, am I gonna continue with this? Because I can't, it's about factors that you can and cannot control. I didn't realize that there was a sense of popularity with this character. Not gonna lie, whenever people ask what I do, I go, I just voice random people, it's whatever. Like, I don't make a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then stuff happens where there's like obsessed people, and I'm like, oh god, like,
yeah,
maybe I do need to take this more seriously in regards to like having protections around myself, doing what I can to make sure that I don't get harmed, because I've been harmed before. It ain't great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it impacted me negatively. I mean, just to be quite candid with you guys, that experience at Conquest, yeah, it was kind of scarring, because imagine you have all these people so excited to come see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, they're so happy. And then there's people that like you could tell they're just getting tired because it's a 4-hour line, it's hot in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people that I've had to say no to because the con organizer scheduled me at like 2 different things. So the constant telling people no, seeing their disappointment. I saw people cry. I'm like, I'm just a dude, but this hurts. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like you feel personally responsible.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's like, it sucks because, I want to meet everybody that wants to give me the time of day. Anytime people ask me for an interview, unless like, they're trying to like, there have been some interviews I turned down because they're trying to make a profit out of it. That's a different story. But yeah, I always try to say yes because, I love talking to people.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to learn from my lessons. And with this one, dude, it impacted me negatively because I'm always so afraid of disappointing people now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Where I actually went to a convention, Fanime 2023. I went with my closest friends. I love Fanime. It's in San Jose. And my closest friends called The Shack. They have been so good to me. They're very protective of me. Like, I've known them for 6 or 7 years, and like they've helped me out so much. Like, I would not be here without them. And we got to hang out at Fanime, and these Genshin fans recognized me in the front of Fanime. And my fight or flight instinct turned on, not because I'm like, a negative perception to fans. It's just that I wasn't mentally prepared for that. So I was very nice. I was very cordial. But I met up with one of my friends, and he looks at me, and he goes, CG, are you okay? And I'm like, I just met a lot of fans. I'm feeling great. He goes, you need to turn off actor mode right now. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm okay, thank you. So that's how it negatively affected me. See, there's a lot of things that happen where people don't know until someone talks about it. That's definitely one of them.
Yeah, in the public space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that it's really interesting that we're talking about fans and stuff. I don't know if you heard about this like thing that was happening in China with like some of the fan base, where they were very, very serious about the way this character was treated, or like these characters are interacting. It was actually in the Sumeru like storyline. So it was like Wanderer and Nahida, and like fans of Nahida were upset that like Wanderer and her are like close now, even though he was like a bad guy. She's like kind of taken on like a mentor role for him, and for whatever reason, like fans felt like that he was stealing Nahida from them. Like the fans felt like that, and so they started doing like really not good things in real life. I will spare like the details, but like kind of illegal stuff was, from what I can understand, that have anything to do with this character, because of the way they felt like this sort of parasocial relationship to this character in a game. It's not even like a live streamer, a YouTuber. It's like this character, and it's like it was like a reality check for a lot of people who were like, man, these like there are people out there who become so attached to these characters, and it's, you know, obviously
Fanatics.
the actors, it has nothing to do with them, like, actually, but you know, sometimes the actors are affected by these things, and it's something that can be dangerous. So like you were saying, like maybe, you know, every actor should have some sort of preparation for like when if something like this, like a fan thing, happens. And I think it's really hard to prepare for, because you never know what it's going to be, right? Like we have like AI voiceover things happening. We have people doing stuff in real life, and it's pretty scary, like in general. So yeah, I think that this like what you're talking about, like, you know, being real about it, it's scary, and it's a side of fame, and it's a side of being connected to a character that a lot of people don't really realize or see, and it can be exhausting, and it can be exhausting for you and the community even, and so yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of that. Like, did you hear about that at all?
I didn't, and that's like super unfortunate. And like, look, to anybody who's like already assuming that we're thinking negative of you, me as a person, look, I don't have the right to judge. That's not my job. I am just another person just like you. All I'm gonna say is that when you invest and things look brighter, the darker the shadows end up being. So if you are like obsessed with something, or you are so invested in something, just realize that the shadows casted because of your focus will be that more apparent. So just be careful with those things. You do what you need to do. I'm not going to get in the way of that. And that's also
very true.
Yeah, and like that's also related to like acting. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that if you try to get actors to be prepared for that at any stage of their career, sometimes it's seen as conceited. Because some people will be like, how do you know that character's going to pop off?
Right.
But I truly think that having at least an open conversation about it is very helpful, because anytime someone asks me about advice for voiceover, there's so many things I want to tell people, like so many, because there are times where I just want to quit, but I love it too much. And there's just so many things around it where I'm so hyper fixated on voiceover that, just like I said, the shadows around it become amplified. The brighter it is, the darker it gets. So it's definitely something where, like, yeah, it's definitely a conversation. I do just want to point out that, hey, look, if you did that, I'm not one to judge. You did what you did. It doesn't matter what you did. It matters what you did what you're going to do moving forward. So do what you can. I'm cool with that. I'm so happy we took a tangent to this. I'm always happy with very candid and real conversations.
Yeah, there's a question I wanted to ask about this same topic.
Please
too.
do.
Because we're already getting into this, you know, how to move forward and everything. So knowing what you know now, what would you tell your past self to help you today and into the future?
That is so good, because the typical person would be like, oh, just watch out for this, do this. But ultimately, I would tell my past self, hey, don't look too far. That's it. That's the only thing I would tell my past self. And my past self wouldn't understand it at first. But as time goes, my past self would be able to see.
Very interesting advice. I like that.
Thank you. And like the reason why I would say that is because it applies to everything. Like for this certain situation, hey, don't look too far. It is what it is. What you're seeing is what you're experiencing and what it is. So don't look too far. Or for example, your career, which is like, hey, don't look too far ahead. Like just stay where you're at, stay the course. It's that one piece of advice that will branch out into a million different lessons.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so to again, like you just said, appreciate your candidness. I cannot appreciate it enough. Like really, like I also love having these real conversations, and because
it's super insightful. Thank you.
We're all people, and we all do experience people things. So it's nice to break the barrier a little bit, or like because when you go into an interview, or when you're an actor and you have to play a part, or you have to like save face, there's a lot of things that you do that are not real, like they're artificial, right? Like you have to protect yourself sometimes, and that's always a thing. But when we can get into a space like this, like a really safe space where we're okay talking candidly, I always appreciate when people are able to do that. And even though I just met you, I appreciate it, and I think we appreciate it here on the podcast.
Of course. And like I'm going to say that as someone who works as a producer, I apologize for always diverting away from the route. I always want to warn people that whenever you have me as a guest, I am the most chaotic roller coaster person you can never schedule or tame. And it's because I am very stream of conscious thought. I mean, in fact, when you said you need to protect yourself as an actor, dude, one thing I always tell actors, don't be too precious with your auditions. Because if you're too precious and you don't book it, you will be sad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That sadness hurts.
I mean, I am a very firm believer in the send and forget policy, where you audition, you put your all into it in that moment, and then you send it, and then you forget about it. And I mean, obviously, I don't mean literally forget about it, so that when you get an email, you're like, wait, what is this? But like, at the same time, it's like, don't think about it too much, right? And you don't want to like give yourself this like extra expectation and this extra pressure on yourself to book something. Maybe you really want the role, but like maybe it's not your time, or maybe there's a better role for you, and you really can't move. Sometimes people don't move on and audition more because they think they've booked a role, or they think they're like, oh, that was perfect, like this is going to be so great, and then they like get the news and they're disappointed, and then they kind of like fall into this cycle of not wanting to audition because they don't feel confident in their abilities. And I definitely I agree with that. Like don't be too precious with your auditions. I mean, be precious with your roles by all means, but like your auditions, it's there's a process to it, right?
Yeah, you know what's really interesting too? I would hate to
there's a quote.
Oh, go ahead, Kahi.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to bring up something. So you ever heard of this guy named Mike Rowe?
The name sounds
Dirty
familiar.
Jobs
Is that
guy?
the dude from Dirty Jobs?
The Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he has this really good quote that I like. This quote. He says, literally, don't follow your passion, take your passion with you. So some people kind of like trip themselves by trying to go in the other way and just chase after something when they should actually just be bringing it along with them.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, I gasped audibly because that is the best. Okay, reframe. So, like, you see how like I got so into that. First off, thank you, Kahi. I will remember that. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I always tell people, look, full-time voiceover is not meant for everybody. I did full-time voiceover for 8 months, and that was the most miserable I was in my life.
Wow.
And it was just awful. And what I do, and I always tell people for voiceover, is, dude, have a full-time job, figure out when you could do voiceover, and slowly inch into it. That is the smartest way to do it. Because like you said, you have to bring it with you. If you try to make your passion everything. Okay, so I was having a great conversation with Michael Sinter-Nicholas. If you're not familiar with him, he directs with NYAV Post. He voices a Ninja Turtle. I forget which one. He's the voice of Taki in Your Name. He does so many cool things.
Oh.
I love Michael Sinter-Nicholas. If you think I talk fast and have golden retriever energy, look at Michael. he's like double that. I love this man.
2 golden retrievers? Crazy.
Oh my God. him and we were vibing. Anyway, so we had a conversation in the middle of my session. By the way, I nailed it. It was great. So we just got to talk, in between takes, and we started talking about this. And he goes, I'm so glad someone understood me in the industry, because I was called a heretic for my thoughts. Where, let's just say you made voiceover your full-time thing. Imagine your passion, and whether or not you get paid is out of your control, but you have to afford food, water, rent, all that stuff. There's a subconscious layer of desperation, right?
Right.
So that subconscious layer of desperation will make it into your reads, because you go, I have to book this next one if I want to meet rent. And that's what happens to a lot of people. Your pyramid of self-actualization is not being fulfilled. You are not fulfilling your basic needs. So that is going to affect your creativity. That's what happens when you dive full into art, when you are not ready to do it. Sometimes we're never ready to dive full into art. Like Mike Rose says, it's better to just bring it along. Like for me, I have a full-time job. I work with Riot Games. I love Riot. They're amazing.
Wow. What do you do for them?
I am an associate content
Really?
publisher. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, I love Riot.
Riot
Like,
is
so good.
in the news lately.
Dude, Riot Campus is incredible. Everyone is so kind to me. I love them. They also, some of them are learning that I do voiceover.
Oh. Dude,
So it's really
come on.
interesting.
League of Legends, Valorant.
Listen.
You're right there. It's like in the next door or down the hall.
It actually is. But listen, if I'm right for the
See,
part,
I told you.
if I'm right for the part, I'll be right for the part. I tell them no pressure. If I get an audition, cool. If I don't, that's cool. I don't want to put that on you guys. I'm here to be a professional and to do my job. Voiceover comes later. So with that in mind, I would do a full-time job. I'm able to support my family. I'm able to do everything, so my needs as a person are fulfilled. That's why when I do my auditions, it just sounds like a dude who's just having fun in the booth. Is that what most people want? Probably not.
Probably.
But it depends. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I average 1 to 2 new bookings a month. Some months I get 5. Some months I had a streak going. I had
booked and blessed.
18 months. Dude, yeah, I had 18 months where I booked at least one thing in a row, and then that streak broke, and I was really sad.
Oh,
and then
no,
now I have
18
another streak of 5 months, which is
Oh,
really nice.
snap. Nice.
Yeah. But, is that successful to some people? Nah, some people will look at that and be like, Christian, you suck. I go, yeah, I do.
wait, what? Wait, hold on.
It's just a
Wait.
thing, I did it on the side,
Yeah, I don't care. That's just how it is. Because voiceover isn't my life. I would love for it to be, but ultimately, if it is, then I'm not listening to Mike Rowe's advice. I need to bring my passion with me, not make it me. My passion is not me. It is my passion. I'm the one that owns the passion. The passion does not own me.
Yeah.
That is a realization that I had just now. That is very nice.
Wow, well, there you go. Wow, well, glad to be a part of this journey of yours.
Thank Kahi for that one.
Yeah, no, Kahi is good with the questions.
Yeah, as you were talking, it just popped up into my head. So, I had to bring that up too, because I had a feeling you would enjoy that. So, little confession time right now. I wasn't really in the game. This is just the game now. In the game, it wasn't. When I saw Thoma, I'm like, okay, he's just like a little goofball. Okay, he's guiding us around. Okay, see a dude. I just go to the other characters. I might start to put him on my team now, just because he is meta and he is, very, very good character. But I just have to find a good team for him. I'm definitely gonna find a team for him just because of this.
Dang, Christian,
So,
you inspired. So Kahi, a little thing you need to know about Kahi. Kahi does not play meta. Kahi is very much waifu over meta, aesthetics over meta. Like
aesthetic.
yeah,
yes,
he
only.
puts teams in Genshin together that look like they would roll together in a team, or they have a theme, thematically, these characters are all I don't know, they all read books or something like that. I don't know, something random. But Kahi does that, and so for you to get Kahi to put Thoma in a team, I think is it's a big deal.
Well, listen, I'm actually curious. Okay.
It's the highest honor I can bestow.
First off, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Second, okay, who's your favorite team, though? I'm curious. Let's go. Let's bring the Genshin audience back, and let's get their attention
My
span back.
favorite
What they doing?
team. Okay, so favorite team right now, if I had to pick any one to just roll with for a very long time, it's Dia, Raiden Shogun, Yaimiko, and Jean. Just because they hit really, really hard, and I always have someone's burst up, and just
Very satisfying.
Dia,
to
for
play.
one thing, is like a character that was supposed to be strong, but everyone in the community thinks she's weak, and even if they have numbers to prove it, every time I use Dia, she's fantastic. I make her work. Even though she doesn't put out the highest burst number, she's just fun to play. Her like burst animations are great. She has good support. She has a lot of health. I mean, aesthetically, yes, you have the whole team lineup. You could probably envision what I was going for. But yeah, that's probably my favorite team right now. There's always other better teams that could steamroll through the content, but I just like the team because it is a fun style.
I'm not laughing at what you said. Please look at the show notes.
Not gonna say that out loud.
Don't say that out loud.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh
well,
my God.
We all know what it is. We all know
This
the
is a
theme.
family-friendly podcast.
It's totally friendly. But yes,
yeah.
that is cool. And like, dude, play Genshin the way you want. From the limited talks that I've had
Exactly.
with the devs, that's what they want, man.
Mm.
They want you guys to play Genshin the way you want to play Genshin. Now, of course, metas are
we-
going to exist regardless. But,
Mhm.
dude, just have fun with it. Is she a punch girl?
She's a punch girl.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got it.
I love punch
I mean, she has a claymore
with a big
but
sword
she but
and the
her
robot arm.
ultimate her elemental burst is she just punches a bunch of times imbued with fire. So, very cool. And we thought at first, this is why I said her first and we both said her first for Full Metal Alchemist for your hint earlier.
Yeah.
Was because we thought on the promotional content before we had actually seen this character or met this character before going to Sumeru, we thought she had like a literal mechanical arm.
That's
Like,
actually
but
cool.
it's a gauntlet.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
just a gauntlet. So yeah, so that's why we were like, oh man, but yeah. So my favorite team is like Yoimiya is my favorite character. So I have Zhongli, Yelan, Yunjin, and Yoimiya. And like, do you know Yelan and Yunjin?
Yunjin, is that the opera singer?
Yes, the
Okay.
Chinese opera singer.
And then who's the other one?
Yelan,
Is that
she's like,
the gambler?
yes,
Okay.
she has the dice and she has blue. Her theme is blue and white.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, so like because I love Yoimiya, that whole team just serves to make Yoimiya safe and do a bunch of damage. And, I just really love, ripping through the content in that sense. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I had a theme team called Scholarly where every character was involved in like school or like book. Like there's like a bunch of characters that have like a theme that's like around the academy or like they went to college or something like that. Like Yanfei went to college for law, and like Kuki Shinobu, the ninja girl, like she went to college for law also. And then like Alhaitham, the character from Sumeru, reads books, like this kind of theme. Oh, and Xingqiu, who also reads books. That was the four of them.
Dude,
But
my
I
favorite
think
team
the
Did you have a
silliest
favorite
team
team?
I ever made was like, Christian, you can go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You're ready mid-thought, dude. Go.
Okay, so I think the silliest team that I made just for the silliest reason was Kazuha, Ayaka, Kuki, and Kokomi. Just because they have names that start with K, so I have a 4K team.
That is fun. My favorite team that I did that always trolled people was the healer Xingqiu build team, where Xingqiu was my healer.
oh,
Yep, that was very.
those little swords disappear. Boom.
I mean, it
hell,
works.
Yeah, I got an
Ah.
incredible 100 HP before I got wiped in Child. It's great. It was so fun. And then the other one is
amazing.
I did all shields, where I had Thoma, I had Zhongli, I had Yanfei, and I had Diona.
Oh my gosh.
And the best part is none of those shields stacked. So
yeah, of
it
course.
was wonderful. I was
Look,
just
you get this
flashy for no
colorful
reason.
bubble. Yeah. Oh yeah, so you were talking about like working at Riot and like doing all this stuff. I actually had no idea that was a thing that you did. Like I've been a longtime fan of Riot games in general. I've been playing League of Legends since like preseason 1, but I'm very like on and off with it. But I played a lot of Valorant, and I'm really excited for the fighting game that's coming out eventually.
Project L.
Project L. Like I'm a fighting game buff. Like that is my thing. I ran tournaments and started the community in my college at Florida International University in Miami, and I was like a regular on Street Fighter 4, Anime Fighters, like all this stuff. So I'm very, very excited for what they're doing with this new game. But my gushing aside, your hobbies, your other games, like what else do you play? Like besides, I mean, you don't play Genshin that much anymore, as far as I understand it. But like, what do you do when you want to like just like unwind? Any other hobbies? Not even just games, but like anything. What do you do in your free time?
It would be a disservice to not say the first thing is to play Xenoblade. That is the joke with my close friends. Play Xenoblade, it's great. I play a lot of games. I play a lot of fighting games. Am I good at them? Not really. I first started with Smash, so you could definitely tell where
Ooh.
I've learned how to, I haven't really learned the actual fight game basics and neutral and all that stuff, but I'm figuring it out.
I could teach you.
Yes, please.
I did shoutcasting for Smash Bros. Ran tournaments for it in Tokyo, where all like the really good players are that aren't in LA.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
LA, California is the second largest like community for Smash Bros. Professionals, and then the second biggest is Tokyo. And so I used to run like I've played with Tweak and like a bunch of other pros and stuff like that. Like we had a really, really nice community going. And I did shoutcasting for Video Game Boot Camp over in the professional tournaments in Japan.
VGBC.
So,
VG Boot Camp.
yeah, VGBC.
Did you do
and so like
Kagurabi?
I did Kagurabi, yeah.
Oh, snaps. Nice.
So yeah, and I met a lot of those people. It's really great. They're super friendly and really cool. I also modded my Switch so that all my Smash Bros characters have Genshin mods.
Okay, who's Thoma? Who's Thoma?
Oh my god, probably I don't remember who is exactly, because I have multiple people. Like I have 2 Raiden Shoguns and stuff depending on the character, but because she has a staff, I think there's a Thoma Palutena mod.
I love this.
Pole
It
dancing.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes
so-
tons of sense. I main Little Mac, which is very
Oh
sad and
my
tragic,
gosh.
but I'm okay. I'm not Peanut level good, but I am pretty okay.
Nice. I mean Joker.
I see we're
Yeah.
going to have a very explosive matchup where you're probably going to win 60-40.
I mean, it is what it is, but
Yeah.
if you punch me hard enough, right? So
Oh yeah, other
okay,
games.
cool. I didn't know you were into that. Yeah.
Other
What
games I
else?
play. I love Melty. Melty Blood's fun.
Oh, nice.
Guilty Gear is very fun. Giovanna, I play
Nice.
Giovanna, and
Oh, I love Giovanna.
very fun. Street Fighter 6. I was playing
Ooh.
Jury for a bit, but I'm switching to Chun-Li because Chun-Li feels more fun.
Oh, I was the exact same thing. I was playing Jury because I've been playing Jury since Street Fighter 4, and then I'm switching to Cammy.
Oh my god, I hear Cammy's crazy, but also like it's so committal because once you do something, the freaking frame data's not as great. Anyway,
It's true, but Cammy's cool.
yeah. See, counter
Yeah, that's it.
counter
how I
argument
play
to
fighting
all,
games.
yeah, counter argument to all the labbers
Aesthetics
out
over
there.
meta.
She's fun.
Yep. She's fun. She's cool. I mean, like, I love that. Like in fighting games, like when people ask me for advice, like who should you play? I'm like, well, pick a character who's cool, who you think is cool. See if you vibe with them. If they're like, oh, this feels cool, and then just learn them. Like it doesn't even matter like difficulty. Like just learn that character. Like that's a good start.
Exactly.
Like be inspired to play the game. I don't want you to pick someone who's meta because they're meta and you don't like their look or characters or moves or anything. Like that makes no sense to me why you would invest time in that. So
Yeah, if you pick a
that's
character.
my spiel. Sorry.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could pick a character that you like, and if you pick Steve, we'll just judge you for. I'm just kidding. Jokes.
That's funny you say that because you can't even pick Steve in some
Some
places
people like him, I
because
don't
he's
know.
banned.
Yeah, he is banned. I mean,
Yeah.
Akala would probably win the tournament anyway. But anyway, I play a bunch of JRPGs. I haven't played
Mhm.
Honkai Star Rail yet. I plan to play that on my first
Oh.
stream back on October 10th, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, please
Oh.
do. It's great.
I will try to be there. Yeah, I play. There's a new update dropping today, actually.
Ooh,
It is very, very cool. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I'll be playing at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, so that's gonna be fun. Let me know.
Cool.
Let me know if you guys are there. I'll give you like VIP, so all that stuff.
Okay,
What else was
sure.
there?
Hey.
Appreciate you.
Of course, I appreciate you guys. I play Xenoblade. I love Xenoblade. I thank Xenoblade for helping me book Welsh accents and British accent roles. Thank you so much.
Oh my god, yes, so good. I thank Harry Potter for that, but you know, it is what it is.
Dude, my sister and my brother-in-law, like, they play the Harry
Yeah.
Potter game, and apparently there's someone
Mhm.
that sounds like me but is British. And then I heard
Oh
it,
my God.
and it just sounds like Griffin Burns. And I'm like, guys, stop it. But
it's me.
it's not me. Anyway, but
It's you, but it isn't.
yeah, God. And then outside of video games, I always love hanging with my friends. Definitely. You'll hear me
Mhm.
call them the Shack. It used to be called
The
the Shady Shack, which was even funnier. But yeah, I love them. I love hanging with them. I love hanging out with my family. We go out like.
Wait, can I ask you? Do you say when you say to people, do you say you're gonna hang out with the Shady Shack, or do you say you're gonna hang out at the Shady Shack?
I say I'm gonna hang out with Shaq.
Oh, you just say I'm gonna hang out with Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yeah. I met Shaq.
Like shady Shaquille
Makes
O'Neal.
it sound cooler.
Yeah.
Wait, you met him?
Yeah, so I was working at this place called BTI Studios, which became my Unimedia group, and I went outside because the restrooms are always like, you know, crowded at that one, so I went across the street to use theirs. It's been 4 years. I'm not gonna get in trouble for that. So I went across the street, and there's I think it was like the TNT like bank or whatever. I don't know. Point is,
Okay.
Shaq was on the first floor, and I was like, oh my God, it's Shaq. And Shaq was like, hey, how you doing, little big fella? And I'm like, oh God, hello. And then he was nice, and he asked what I was doing there. And I said, I'm not going to lie. My office is across the street. I'm coming here to use the restroom on floor 4. And he goes, yeah, that's fair. And then he walks away. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool. That was Shaq. And then I was like, I'm going to use the restroom now. And then I just went back to work.
Just another day in LA, you know, like.
Yeah, just another day in LA, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's chill. Okay, so you're gonna start Twitch streaming again. That's great. So, you know, we will do a shout out at the end there.
Thank
Twitch
you. I appreciate
for your
you.
Twitch stream. And yeah, that's awesome. So let's wrap up our very long present
Sorry.
segment. No. But I told you from the beginning, like, this is your space. Like, we're here to hear from you, to learn from you. At this point, I wasn't expecting.
We
I
are the
wasn't gonna
platform.
I wasn't gonna say like, hey, can you come to our podcast so we can learn from you? But like, we're learning so much from you. Like, you know, it's supposed to just be chill, but we got deep. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
So yeah, I appreciate that too. So all right, let's do our second mini game to break up the monotony. And so this mini game is going to use your voice acting prowess
Oh my God.
to give us some Genshin character voice lines. So the way this is going to work, for those of you listening that do not know how it works, is we are going to have Christian go to the Genshin Wiki character list, pick any Genshin character, again have us guess who they are, but this time, instead of describing them, he's going to go into the voiceovers tab and pick random voice lines, preferably not efforts, and then tell us, do his best cold read take on that voice line and see if we can guess it based off of like what's being said in the voice line, or maybe the way that Christian does it. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try to do first 2-3 points, and if I lose really fast again, we're going to go to 5 points again, because this is my podcast. I don't want to lose all the time. I'd like a chance, please. But yes, so are you ready, Christian and Kahi?
Yes. Dude, wait.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'm also going to say
Yes.
something. You won't be able to get the efforts if I do it. Like, dude, if I do this effort, like, Ripple it. You already know it's the trap.
Wait, Windblade. Wait, if you say Windblade, Zach, is that you?
God, I love Zach's efforts. I hear it so much that I'm able to copy some of them. It's so funny.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know if I mentioned this, but like, this is just random tangent. I also do Japanese voiceover, and I speak fluent Japanese. Like, it was my major in college. I like moved to Japan, and like it became this thing. And so, the characters I feel I can do the most close voice lines for in Japanese are Kazuha and Kaya.
Ooh.
And they have these very like otonashiku shiagare,
Oh!
like this kind of.
Hold on, time
like-
out.
like-
You can't just drop that very accurate. Do that again? Hello?
Otonashiku shiagare.
The hell? Excuse you. Okay.
Kaze da.
Huh?
What's that thing he says, like Kumo no yuku goto e. Like Kazuha sounds like that, like more airy.
何ですか?
But nan desu ka?
What the
Masaka.
hell?
Yari yari da ze.
Excuse
Yeah, so-
you, Yuki Kaiji Jr. Okay,
I would
shit.
try, but
Yuki-
I'm not going
Yuki
to.
Kaji?
I'm not gonna butcher
Oh my
those
god,
lines.
Yuki Kaji. Yeah, so that I don't know, I love that voice acting, like the efforts that that inspire me to just I've heard them so many times that I just have to imitate them. You know, like if you watch me playing on stream, I'll be Kaya and I'll use my ice bridge and I'll be like otonashiku shiagare or kore. I'll just do what he does. And that's I actually have redeems on my channel that people can request me to do voice lines and stuff. I'll do my best Alejandro Saab impression and read Sino jokes. That is one thing I'll do. Do you get it? This joke. And I'll do that whole thing. And it's super fun. I love being inspired by the voice lines, which is why we're doing this. This is why we're talking about this. This is why I invited you, because I love voice acting.
Thank you, and I love it too. Those are fantastic impressions. That was very good. If you could,
Thank you.
If you could figure out how to do that for English, you really should. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I can't. I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying, right? That's what I'm.
Good.
That's what I'm here for.
And
So.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, dude. Please, I know people say, oh, but imitations are just fake. No, do an imitation of a character, because even if you're wrong, it's a new character. Anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. I love that philosophy.
I'm down to start with some easy ones and then slowly progress to get more difficult.
Go for it. Just don't make them too easy for Kahi.
Nah, I'm actually Team Kahi. I don't know if you knew this.
I might know
Team
a little
Kahi,
more,
no.
but yeah.
Hashtag Team Kahi.
No. I was Team Thoma, but I guess I'll switch.
I'm always Team Kahi. Always. I'm just kidding. All right. I'm always.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll pick an
Let's
easy
go.
one.
I'm networking and I
Let's
don't
go.
even know it.
Let's see. What is this? Okay, cool. I found the line. You smell nice. Let's hunt.
Razor.
Yeah.
I was about to say it, but I know, I'll just give it to. I'll just
No,
give it to
damn
Jack.
it.
Oh, you got the
can't say
pity
that.
point.
You
No.
can't say that, Kahi. You're not supposed to
I
say
have
that.
to be honest.
That's so
Yeah.
BS.
I wasn't just gonna
Look.
let that
Earlier, I
slide.
appreciated the candidacy. I don't anymore. You can just.
I would have gotten more flack if I didn't know.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Next, Christian.
Okay, I think I got one. The wind is picking up. There is conflict in the air.
Kazuha?
Close. It is a dude.
Wander?
Nope.
No. There's no way. Heizo.
Nope.
Oh.
Ayato?
Nope.
The wind is picking up. There's.
Maybe I could do it more in
Conflict.
character.
Okay.
The wind is picking up. There's conflict in the air. Name all the dudes. You'll get there eventually.
Thoma?
Nah, I wish.
No, Tartaglia.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
conflict.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
sense
yeah.
conflict.
I was like, wait a second.
'Cause I was gonna
who's
pick the
just like
typical
Thoma,
child
but
line.
not Thoma. Oh, I see.
I'm number
something
11 of the
about whales,
Fatui
right?
Harbingers. Codename Child.
I think the moment an element comes up in their voice line, we're thinking, oh, it has to be that element. But anyone can literally say air.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I need to figure out because I only thought of two. Let's continue. Oh, okay, here's...
Wait. You thought Kahi was gonna win that fat? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm just kidding.
Sabotage.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
no.
messing with you. Okay. Here's a good one.
Okay.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
I feel like this is a female voice.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Okay,
oh,
nice.
never mind. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think he says that when he's sprinting or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying not...
Okay.
I'm not going to play the reference. I'm going to try to go off of what I remember.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, God. Should I do this? This one's so easy. This one's a gimme. Okay, and then to make it fair, should we switch who answers first each time?
Yeah. Wait. So did I have 3 now?
I think so.
I think you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Ha. Okay. I'll go to 5,
Okay, let's see.
and Kahi can answer first.
Okay, I found one. All right, it's time for a snowball fight. You're never gonna win, though. Woo!
Ito.
Yeah, it's Ito.
I knew it.
Naruto Arataki
They
Ito.
have
The
to
one and
those
only.
kinds of whimsical voice lines. It's not even a voice line. It's just like just a soundbite into their line just to make them sound more comical.
Yes.
Max Middleman, amazing.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, I could do this one. Okay, so now Josh answers next. And let's see. Ooh, this line looks interesting. I'm gonna turn up my game for this one. The wind has ceased. The world is silent, so now is the best time to get rest. See you tomorrow.
Kaza.
Yep. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear
That's
it.
a nice line.
Cool. Let's see. We could keep going for as long as you want. I love this. This is a fun activity.
Because Josh, you need one more to win, right?
Yeah, but we can keep going.
Alrighty.
Okay, let's do a character I have never heard before. That would be fun. See my random interpretation of them.
Yeah, random takes. Go for it.
Okay, so then Kahi.
I love cold reads. Like,
Kahi goes next. Let's see. Ooh, maybe I could try this character. Okay. Based on how he looks. Okay. He seems like a nerd. That might have been a hint. I'm used to the rain, but you should probably use an umbrella.
I want to say Bennett.
No.
My chance to steal, eh? I can use to the rain. I'll probably use an umbrella. Man. Aloy?
Nope. Hint, it's a dude. And I haven't played the game when he came out, so anything past Inazuma.
Tainari?
Yes! Ding, ding,
Yeah, he
ding,
looks
ding.
smart. Yep. Yeah, he is used to the
Oh,
rain. He's in the
yeah.
rainforest a lot.
Alright, so what's
There
the
you
score?
go.
I haven't been keeping track. I'm a terrible
It's,
scorekeeper.
3-2? Oh, no, 4-2.
Wait, don't I have 4? Yeah, I have 4.
Yeah, you have 4. I
4-2.
have 2. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so I think it's Josh that answers first this next time, right?
Well, I'm on game point, so maybe Kahi can just keep answering first.
Okay, no problem. Oh, no, that one, this line would give it away. Okay. Many people dread the sound of thunder. To me, it sounds fondly familiar.
Is it Zhao?
No. Josh with the steal?
Is it Yaimiko?
Yes!
Aha!
Oh, wow. Okay, I was stuck thinking it was just going to be male characters. You got
I'm
me there.
surprised you didn't pick an Electro or Inazuma character actually for that one. Kahi.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
guess
get to
so.
the next one. The next one was going to be
Oh.
funny. Alright, next
All right,
one
the
just for
last one.
bonus. Alright,
Yeah, bonus. This one's for 500 points.
this one's for 500? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold up. Okay, I'm picking the right line.
All right.
And it's I'm just gonna go for a random voice choice because there's no way in hell I'm gonna hit this. Would I blow up? Oh wait, it's just thunder and lightning. Phew.
Is this Klee?
Yep.
Oh
I
my
win.
gosh. All right, Kahi, you win.
Anything that says blow up.
Congratulations.
Literally anything that blows up is Klee.
Or we could do a tiebreaker where I pick a very esoteric random one.
Go it. Just for the
One more.
lulz. Let's
For
go.
the lulz.
Let's go.
For the lulz? Okay. So I guess maybe to buzz in the first person that I hear to say their name will be able to get the first shot. How about that?
Okay.
Cool. Those that receive visions should look after them. I certainly don't plan on losing mine.
Okay, I'll go.
Josh.
Eula?
Ningguang?
Kahi. No. Josh.
I certainly don't plan on losing mine. Someone. Amber?
Nope. Kahi.
Is it Kujosara?
Josh. We'll get one more
Ka-ching.
round and I'll do another line. Nope. Kahi.
Okay.
Kuki?
Nope. Okay. All right. Hint, Inazuma.
Oh.
God, this line would give it away. I'm such a jerk. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It feels like a fire inside of me has just begun to burn.
I think I know this.
Kahi?
Is this Thoma?
I now I see.
Correct. Good job, sir. It is Thoma.
Oh my god.
I decided to throw Thoma. It is the tiebreaker.
Oh
I'm
my
actually
god.
that's
For the
brilliant.
lulz.
That's amazing.
For the lulz.
For the lulz. Oh my god.
That
Okay,
was the
well,
hint.
that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Christian.
You're welcome. I can't wait
oh
for
my
the
God.
audience to be like, "Oh my god, no way."
Yeah, I'm excited for that. All right. So, okay. So that was our little mini game there. So let's talk about the last segment of our podcast,
Mhm.
which is, or of our interview today, I should say, which is, the future. So let's ask some things about the future. Like, Kahi, go for it.
So, first question of the final segment. When people search for you online, what do you want the first things to show up to be?
Oh, that's a great question. This is gonna sound bad. Okay. I want them to find my dad. My dad and I have
Same
the same
name?
name.
Oh, I thought so.
But
Oh my god.
it's mainly because, like, and I don't want it to make it seem like I'm dismissing your question. If it's a thought exercise to, like, what I want to do in the future, I'll also answer that. But
Yeah,
I'll answer
very
this part
open-ended.
first. But, yeah, I mean, frankly, I don't really like attention, nor do I, like, want to seek it. So if people look for me online, I mean, I hope they could find what they want to find if it's not malicious. But I hope they find my dad first. Because I don't want
That's
attention.
so funny. But that's so funny. No, I think that's a legit answer.
But I also don't want
That
a
already
smart
says a
button
lot,
answer.
yeah.
Okay.
What about your dream role? Do you have a dream role that you like always wanted to book, or there's like a work you've always wanted to be a part of, anything like that?
Oh my god, there's plenty. I would love to be the tutorial voice. Dude, I sound like a tutorial voice by default. That'd be
You
so
do?
fun.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Other things, I would love to be in... I want to be in a role that will make people cry. Like, I just want to break people's soul. Not in a bad way. Just, with the acting, You know?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's fine. Definitely that. And the last one, because I like to do things in rules of 3, I would really, really love to play a villain. Like a Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Oh, yes.
Oh, like a
please.
dramatic,
Not even
Like
dramatic,
a
but more
cunning
like,
villain.
more like Dr. Doofenshmirtz or Dr. Draken, where
Oh my
they're
god.
they're a villain, but they're
Draken, yo.
funny.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Like unhinged.
The berry the platypus. This kind
Yes, because like you guys have never heard my unhinged auditions, but I always laugh at those because some people have heard me unhinged in the booth, and it is it is funny. I can't. I
Dang
hope
it.
the world
Sounds
will
so
hear
good.
me unhinged
One day
one day.
we'll hear unhinged Christian. It'll say in like the credits like Christian Banas in parentheses unhinged.
Unhinged.
You know Alan Tudyk, right?
Yes.
He played King Candy.
He did? I didn't know that.
Yes, he played King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. And
Oh my
I
God.
didn't even notice until I saw him in the booth and behind the scenes. I'm like, wait, that's him? That's the voice?
Also, like, if there's another role, now that I think about it, because you said it, dude, I would love to voice a Disney prince. That'd be fun. Apparently,
Oh my
people
God,
say
that sounds
Thoma's a
great.
Disney prince already. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that fan base.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So can you give us your best tutorial voice?
Yeah, of
Your
course.
best like reading the instructions.
Yeah, like I could do the meme kind where I'll be like, press A to start. Very good. Now, let's keep on going to the next checkpoint. Over there, take a look. That's like a kid's one. But if we're talking like an in-character kind, I hope it's just like something where it's just like, yo, what are you doing? Come on, over here. Like that kind of stuff.
Oh, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh.
You know, like, have you ever played Metal Gear Solid?
I have not, no.
They have they're one of those. It's one of those games where like the characters just realistically say stuff to you in character, and it's a tutorial. So like, all right, Snake, press the A button to get over to the next
Oh
side.
my God.
Like you know, like full character, but like
Like
full
an actual
tutorial mode, and they
instruction.
just say like, yeah, like that's not gonna work. You're gonna have to press the A button to get over to the other side.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my
no,
God.
not the L button. Like they'll say stuff like that.
I could just imagine
So
it like
good.
a grounded universe, like pretend Smash has one. Be like,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's right. If you're gonna get comboed by Kazuya, you need an SDI this way. That's the wrong way.
Oh my God.
God.
Little known fact, Kazuha's 10-hit combo can be DI'd out of.
You know, you could make a full
You're
YouTube
fighting
series on
Steve.
just this.
Unplug.
Everyone would watch it.
Oh my God, you actually can.
Oh my God, that's great. There you go. Future content ideas for you, my friend. So what about so dream roles? I mean, we're here for you. You know, we're hoping you book those. Would love to see you as all of those things. You know, what is it? An unhinged villain tutorial character who breaks people's souls.
What a
Not
thought
literally,
exercise
but like
that is.
emotionally.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
everything,
emotionally. You're
literally
right,
and
you're right,
emotionally.
emotionally.
What advice do you have for other younger people who aspire to become voice actors? Like younger meaning also like newer to the industry, or just advice for professionalism in general?
That's a great question. I'm gonna try to keep that as succinct as possible.
Go for it.
You should really experience life first. And I mean this as sincerely as possible. I'm not telling you to not pursue your dreams. Please, by all means, pursue whatever dream you may be, like whether it's voiceover or art or whatever it is. Pursue your dreams. But I want you to experience life. Now, what does it mean to experience life? It's hard to do something creative when art imitates life. Your art will be capped if you've never experienced life. So sometimes just get out there. Try something. Like, shoot, you could go bungee jumping, sure, whatever. Or you could do something as simple as saying yes to the little cousin you never play with. Be like, yeah, you know what, I'll play with you this time. And just live as a genuine person. Because nowadays I feel the acting industry is lacking genuine people. Because the genuine people don't want to be
Absolutely.
involved with all of the politics and mess that are involved with creative fields. And I feel like we've forgotten that, as not only as a profession but as a society in general. I'm all for being genuine. Now that doesn't mean you need to be a certain type of way to be genuine. I want you to be genuinely you. Like, if you're quiet, then be the quiet person. If you're loud, then be the loud person. But just know that I want you to be you. Enjoy your life. Live life. Trust me, the better you are as a person, the better you are as an actor. Trust me, you'll see that progress. Whether it takes 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade, or 1 millennia, just enjoy your life. Because I guarantee you, you'll be able to act once you become a solid enough person. It's not that hard. But what is hard is being a good person and living a good life. That's my little soapbox spiel.
Wow, that
I
is
love
amazing
that.
advice. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, I appreciate
like-
it.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. I mean, I love that. I love the art imitates life, but if you don't experience life, how can you create good art? That's like a very interesting point to make for that. And yeah, that's fantastic. So, you all heard Christian. Go out and live life.
Yeah, go touch
and
grass.
experience life. Yeah, the grass is out there waiting to be touched. You know. So, but yeah, and then after that, you know, promptly return to your computer and play Genshin. So, yeah, I think it's really important that we don't lose ourselves when we go through these different phases of our lives, right? And sometimes there's a journey of self-discovery, and sometimes there is the the building of new skills and like new versions of yourself. But being genuine is always going to be relevant and important. And so I really appreciate that advice as well, as someone who is coming into the industry semi-new. So thank you so much.
Of course. And if I may add an addendum to that, sorry. I'm getting back on the soapbox, people.
Get back
just
on.
A little. People are not going to like you when you're being genuine you, and that's okay. Cool. Now I'm off the soapbox. I'm putting it back down.
Oh, there you go. The little like, the people that, so how can I say this? Like the people that are, wait.
It's a tough one.
So what is it called? You don't need to please everybody?
Close.
Is that what it is?
It's more of, when you're you, those who are meant to be in your life will be in your life, and those who aren't. The world's big enough. Just be you. Understand that there are people around you, so definitely do be courteous to them. But in general, those who are meant to be around you will.
You attract the company you keep.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I appreciate that. Like, I just appreciate that advice in general. Like, that is so nice to hear.
I feel like
it
Jackie
really
Chan's uncle in that show. One more thing.
One more
I
thing.
love that show.
If I could get back on the soapbox and
You children need to listen to me. And I'm just kidding. I'm like gonna be turning 30. I'm old, but not that old.
Oh my god. Wait, you're turning 30?
Yeah, in September.
Oh no, you're older than me.
What was that?
I'm turning 30 in December.
Oh, nice. Happy early birthday if we don't talk before then, which I doubt. My DMs are always open to you guys.
You too. And very soon, I might add, next month. So, wow, great. That's awesome. I don't know. It's just a thing, right? Like when you ask someone how old they are, you kind of like want to win by being the older one somehow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if you're close enough, when you're in school and you're the same grade, you're like, how old are you? I'm older than you, But anyway, thank you for all your advice. Thank you for your wonderful candidness during our interview today, and all the fun moments and also the serious moments. I think hopefully the fans and the listeners of this podcast will appreciate that for what it is and your genuine self that you've brought to the podcast today. Thank you so much, Christian, for being our guest. I hope you had fun.
Oh, I did. It was a blast.
It was a blast. And thanks again, thanks again, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Genshin Guys Pod, me at JSide Gaming, twitch.tv/JSide, Kahi at Kahiao, KAHIYAO at Twitter and on YouTube. And where can the people reach you, Christian?
That is a great question. So in general, if you have any direct requests, please send an email to christian@christianbanisvo.com. And if you want to follow my Twitter or X or whatever it's called, it is at Chris Banas Jr. That is CHRISBANASJR. I will also be streaming again starting on October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Please go to twitch.tv/ChristianBanis. Woo!
All right. Awesome. Thank you again. And with that, we wrap up the show for today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Christian. And next week's episode, we'll be talking about the Archon quest for Fontaine. So if you have not finished part 1 or Act 1 and Act 2 from Fontaine, I really recommend you go finish that so that you can listen to the next episode of the podcast. And we will see you there. As always,
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
星と支援を目指せ
Enjoy.
Add extra applesauce.